So I know, and kind of tip it off a little bit, you do a lot with speaker design and enclosure designs, and a lot of these enclosures that we're seeing, pretty much were kind of your baby. Tell how it all got started out, and I think I got a little something to talk about down here. I'm going to reach down and pick this up, and I'm going to set it up here. I want you to tell us what this thing is and what it started.
Well, this was...
Tell me how heavy it was.
Yeah, this was one of the first prototypes I built when I came into the R&D department. Bob Spencer, our VP of R&D, came to me and tasked me with trying to take some cues from the home audio industry and come up with something that's really small and compact, but that produces a lot of bass. And the home audio industry does it with a lot of DSP and tons of power and really super long throw drivers. And we wanted to take something that we had in stock and be able to do it with that. So I started playing.
Definitely small.
Yeah, definitely small. Started off with a 10. We actually decided to come out with an 8-inch for production. But we prototyped several different sizes, played around with it. We did some that actually had 3 passive radiators on it and 1 driver, but that would be a bit costly, adds a little size to the enclosure.
It was pretty cool.
It was cool and it was a lot of fun, but just not as practical. It did work though, it worked quite well. But this was a lot more practical, quite a bit smaller, plays really low bass for the size of the enclosure and quite a bit of output for the size of the enclosure. So we did some demos, showed it to some guys around here, and they decided to run with it. And
we loved it.
Since it's a compact enclosure, we decided to go with the 8-inch to make it as small as possible, to give people big bass from a really small enclosure.
And that's a 10 we have up here.
Yes, and so this is a 10. We never actually went into production with this, but this was part of the prototyping process. And quite frankly, prototyping these 2 drivers enclosures kind of trickled down into several of our enclosures, because then we came out with the Comp RT enclosures with the passive radiator.
The TCWRTs.
Yep, and then the TRTPs with the downfire version with the passive radiator. So there was a lot of experimentation that went on with this, a lot of trial and error, but once we got it figured out, we trickled it down into quite a few products.